There's little question that WWE is concerned about its new competitor All Elite Wrestling, but there's one thing in particular that has the WWE sweating. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the WWE's biggest fear about AEW. All Elite Wrestling is arguably the WWE's first serious competitor since WCW, but there's one thing the WWE fears more than anything when it comes to their new rival. There seems to be room for more than one major wrestling promotion in North America, and AEW is just getting started. Furthermore, All Elite isn't running their new TV show opposite the WWE, but it is expected to air on Wednesday nights. Still, rumours are flying that AEW's TV show is the WWE's biggest fear, and given the evidence so far, they have every reason to be wary of their competitor's new show, as television is king. While house show audiences, merchandise revenue and the WWE Network are important components of the WWE's revenue stream, television is the current king. The WWE derives the majority of its income from the rights fees TV networks pay to air Raw and Smackdown live. Whether it's the blockbuster deal the WWE landed moving SmackDown to Fox, or the mega money deal brought into keeping Raw on the USA Network, the WWE relies on television to keep Vince's wrestling empire going. Like any smart business person, Vinnie Mac doesn't put all his eggs in one basket, but the WWE still relies an awful lot on television, making it vital to keep viewers tuning in. However, it's also important as to who is tuning in, which makes AEW a concern. So what's dangerous about the WWE's ratings decline? While it's common knowledge that the WWE's TV ratings have been declining for years, not everyone understands why the ratings are so dangerous to the company's financial stability. As bad as the fall in ratings is to the WWE, it's particularly troubling because of who is watching WWE TV, and more importantly, who is not. This week's Observer featured an analysis of why the WWE's ratings drops are so serious. It's no secret that WWE audience declines have been terrible with those under the age of 30, and whatever stability the audiences have are because of the over 50 audience has stayed more steady. The problem is the aging audience isn't being replenished. One person who is involved with the company noted to us months ago that in the real world, you never meet anyone who is a fan today that wasn't a fan in the Attitude Era. The basic idea is that for 2 decades, very few new fans are being made, and the business is being carried by the 24-year-olds in 1999 who are now 44. And even worse, because the median viewer age, which actually was as low as 23 during the Attitude Era, was 54 last year and is probably older than that now given the huge declines over the last year in the younger age group. Simply put, the WWE is doing a terrible job of creating and, more importantly, engaging new fans. Although the evidence is largely anecdotal, wrestling traditionally has created fans at a younger age, with some remaining lifelong fans and others moving on to their other interests. Nonetheless, the industry also found ways to bring in new waves of fans, which is why wrestling remained popular enough to stay in business through its ups and downs. While the WWE has been working for years to keep a PG rating and maintain a family-friendly tone, the ratings don't reflect that it has an ideal demographic watching its shows. The maxim, "the devil is in the details," is one that definitely applies to TV ratings as advertisers pay close attention not only to how many people watch a show, but who those people are. A 1997 Washington Post article broke things down. It should be noted though that while the media often report ratings, points and shares, the TV industry is usually more interested in another set of numbers: demographics. These numbers, which show how much of a certain segments of the population are watching TV, i.e. women ages 18 to 34, could often mean the difference between life and death for a show. Advertisers thirst over specific demographics for their products. Viewers ages 18 to 49 are the most highly prized, and are less likely to pay top dollar to advertise on shows that can't deliver to those groups. That's why it is possible for a show with respectable overall ratings to still be cancelled if its demographic numbers are less than spectacular. Advertisers now have access to highly detailed reports on who watches a program. The following data can now be obtained from TV ratings, including age, gender, household income, head of household race, territory, time zone, county size, head of household occupation, cable status, viewing quintile, i.e. which audience group watches the most TV compared to other groups, and household size and makeup. This allows advertisers to target their ad dollars to programs they believe will reach the target audience. For For example, a pharmaceutical company might target older viewers who are more likely to need medication, while an automobile company might target viewers aged 25 to 45. During an episode of the Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer discussed the WWE's ratings troubles and one of the company's key concerns. You definitely need the younger audience, and the other thing is that the fear of AEW getting that younger audience when they get on television. So you know that's why they're going to be seeing a lot of moves, and obviously the style of the show they did on Monday worked. Advertisers want the right demographic though. Even worse, the WWE's current audience is not the type of demographic that advertisers like due to their age. Wrestling was traditionally looked down upon, and it could be difficult to get mainstream advertisers to not only pay much to advertise for wrestling programs, but to get prestigious advertisers. A 2017 Wall Street Journal article on the WWE's efforts to attract new advertisers featured comments from Brandon Ross, an analyst at BTIG Research. Still, boosting WWE's appeal to more advertisers may have its challenges, according to Mr. Ross. Although staged, its main events are still fights, and there is a perception WWE attracts a lower income audience with less wallet than other programs, according to Mr. Ross. The article noted that the WWE says it has attracted around 50 blue chip sponsors over the past 2 years. Recent brand partners have included Mars, KFC, PepsiCo, Nestle and Mattel. Blue chip sponsors not only help in bring in revenue, but they add a certain amount of prestige to a program. The WWE would look lowbrow, more so than it's perceived by people who aren't fans, if Raw or SmackDown Live featured ads for male enhancement products, as one of its rivals did at one point in time. This hasn't always been the case. A recent article by the business site The Motley Fool noted the WWE has not always had the best reputation with advertisers. The company was thought of as lowbrow, partly for its level of violence, and in part because of how it presented women. Investment advisors David and Tom Gardner discuss how the WWE has sought out a female demographic. WWE has really tried to change their image when it comes to how they treat women on the brand and how they're shown on the content. Female wrestling in 80s and 90s were eye candy. They weren't trained wrestlers, they were in skimpy outfits, they would have bikini contests. Now it is presented very much like the males. The WrestleMania main event was a brutal, hard-fought contest between people who are every bit as trained and talented as the top men. That is a huge change. That might not bring in a huge women audience, but it does make it so your girlfriend or my wife is going to be less like, okay, you're watching wrestling. Is it for the bikini contest? No, it's because it's a pseudo-sport that I like the drama of. Ultimately, the Gardners brought up the most important aspect of expanding the WWE demographic. It makes the brand much more palatable to advertisers. Nonetheless, the WWE has to bring in a certain number of viewers who fit the blue chip advertisers' target. The WWE's Q1 earnings statement and drop in stock price suggests that Wall Street is more cognizant of the WWE's problems. Advertisers will likely look closer at the WWE audience as well, making it necessary for the company to bring in the said ideal demographic. But it's also catch-22. AEW does seem to be going for and attracting a younger demographic than the WWE currently has. Some analysts believe that many AEW fans are either young fans who never watched the WWE, or former WWE fans fed up with the WWE's direction. If the WWE decides to go after a younger demographic, as some have suggested given the 1st July 2019 Raw's edgier content, it could easily bring in the younger demographic. At the same time, the WWE must avoid alienating its blue chipper advertisers with excessive violence or foul language. The WWE is going to find itself walking a tightrope of balancing advertisers' wants and the wants of younger fans. But there is some potentially good news. The much larger audience awaiting on Fox. This week's Wrestling Observer newsletter pointed out that SmackDown should increase greatly and will almost certainly look good in a year in direct viewer comparisons. Fox is in nearly 120 million homes, while USA is in 89 million. Also, Fox has a far greater base audience. Just staying the same, SmackDown should improve 34% in viewers starting in October just from the increase in homes, not to mention a second jump just based on being on a stronger station. SmackDown got a big bump moving from Sci-Fi to USA a few years back, and this bump should be considerably larger. The move to Fox is a great opportunity for the WWE, but only if it finds a way to keep its existing fans and grow a new audience. It certainly has a great location to do so, but the company has to devise a long-term strategy and philosophy for its programming that'll bring in new viewers, keep existing viewers, and not alienating advertisers. If the WWE can do so, it will have to eliminate the cause of its biggest fear about All Elite Wrestling. But there you have it, guys, the one thing that scares the WWE most about AEW. Do you think that the WWE has reasons to be concerned? Let us know in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.